Hey Jess, it's Katelyn. I just wanted to start by explaining that we have people working on our hardwood floors downstairs, and so it's going to be a little loud at times, and I apologize for the hammering like that. Um, so I just wanted to forewarn you, but let's get started. I'm glad to read that you looked at some of your pictures you had trouble with and already knew how to fix them based on what we talked about earlier, and so that's really exciting and encouraging. So I'm glad you're getting something out of this. Let's start with this one. I think you did great. Basically figuring out how to make them look warm without overdoing it. It is hard with snow to make sure that you're getting the correct white balance because everything's white. So I think they look great, and normally I tell people to focus on their skin, their skin tones first, and then look at the rest of the image, because if you're trying to get the trees to look the right color, it doesn't matter what the trees look like. People look at the skin tones first. So I think you did awesome, and I think they're troopers they're literally knee deep in snow. So I'm a little jealous. We haven't gotten any snow here yet, so I'm hoping we get some later, but I love this, and I think you did a great job. I wouldn't change anything at all. So I think it's wonderful, and I think you did a great job with the white balance. So let's move over to this one, and it definitely looks like your camera lens was fogged, and that's hard. And really, I just recommend not even shooting when it's fogged. You got to wait till it gets acclimated to whatever temperature it is outside. Because even if you wipe it off, it's still going to come right back, and you're going to end up with this hazy image. What it actually looks like is that your fill light is turned up all the way. There are no blacks or anything like that, and so if you wanted to adjust this, you could try to darken the shadows a little bit to fill in some of those areas. So what you would normally do, I would normally bump up the fill light, but that already looks like it happened. So I would actually turn that down and then up the contrast. And I mean, you're really doing everything I told you not to do, but that's because the fog just transforms that image. So that helps a little bit, but I actually try to leave at least 10 minutes when you're shooting in freezing cold and your lenses have been inside for, a day or so. They're going to be really warm, and they just need about 10 to 15 minutes to really cool down and meet the outside temperature. So I know it's frustrating because you can't speed that process up at all. So I would just pay attention to that in the future. But it's a cute shot, and it looks great. So I would just make sure your camera has time to get used to the cold weather before you start shooting. And then let's look at, I mean, if you wanted to, you could move her over a little bit, just for composition's sake. You could put her in this third quadrant over here. Well, we don't want to get rid of her foot. There we go. Just to have her over to the side a little bit more, but that's me being picky. So let's go ahead and look at this. So you said you weren't thrilled with this after you saw it. Something I noticed immediately would be that it always looks like people are a little bit more in love if they're touching. So if I had a couple like this, I would make sure that his nose is touching her temple so that they're connected a little bit more. And that would make her feel a little bit more comfortable as well. So I would just bring them a little bit close. Whenever I have someone posing that close together, I just go ahead and say, okay, make sure your nose is touching her temple. And that just makes it look a little more genuine. So, and it could be that maybe the background isn't very colorful, but it's still, like, the colors in their clothes are really great. I would crop out this. I don't know what that little thing is, but I would just crop that out just to take away some of the distraction. And then I would actually, it may not seem like it, but I would warm it up just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more of a warm tone. So, cropping that extra little thing out of the corner and warming it up, maybe that helps a little bit. But I really think you may like it better if he was touching her nose and there was no space in between them. I'm not sure, but it's a great image. If you have pictures like that where you think, oh, this is going to be awesome, and then you see them later and you're like, oh, maybe not so much. That's normal, and it happens to me, all the time, and so don't be discouraged by that. So you're not the only one. But I hope this helps, and I'm excited to see your new images that you produce in 2013, and I just hope that you got a lot out of these 4 weeks. And thanks for signing up, and I'll see you soon. Bye.